Hello guys, it's me Eric. I'm interviewing Julie. She is a staff nurse at the Hartford Dispensary in Willimantic, Connecticut. And I'm going to ask some questions about what she does in the Methadone clinic. Here's Julie. All right, Julie, thank you again for the interview. All right. So we'll start off really easy, I guess. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for over 30 years. Started out as an LPN. I've done a lot of different things in my career. I have a BSN, an MS, and an MPH.
That's awesome. All right, for some people who may not know what a methadone clinic is, do you mind just telling me a little bit about it?
Well, we're considered overall a substitution type of clinic because methadone is a synthetic opiate. Okay, so people who are addicted to opiates such as heroin, oxycodones, that sort of thing, come to us, and we supply them with the methadone, which is a longer acting medication. So therefore, they're not running around chasing their next fix all the time, and if they can get clean and stay clean, eventually it is possible to detox off of methadone and get away from the drugs altogether. But Hartford Dispensary is a dual diagnosis clinic, so we also have clinicians here, so we're not only treating the physical aspect of addiction, we're also treating the mental aspect of addiction.
Awesome. How many employees work here? Do you know, have a figure? Or?
In this clinic, I think we've probably got about 15 people, I think. But Hartford Dispensary, I think, has like 9 or 10 clinics. I'm not sure how many. But in this clinic, we have, I don't know how many nurses we've got. Let me see, I have to think about it. We probably got 5, 6 nurses.
Excellent. Do you employ interpreters as well, or do you need?
We don't have a job description for an interpreter, but we do have clinicians that speak Spanish.
Awesome.
Yes.
Where does the money come from to run the methadone clinic?
I believe it's grant funded, and I'm just taking a guess at perhaps endowments or something like that, close to how a hospital is run. I really couldn't tell you, to be absolutely sure, but I can tell you it's not like state run. We're not part of. We're not state employees.
Okay.
But I know they're always involved in grant funding and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so they're always applying for funds. So that's huge. And you probably have like a board, share people that will probably,
they have a board of directors,
right?
Okay. And they do all that stuff. I don't really know much about that. I'm just a worker.
No. You're good. You're good. You're good. About approximately, give me about how many people you see a day, you think, here on a daily basis? It just varies, or?
It varies because we have people who pick up every day, and then we have people who have bottle privileges, that maybe come in once a week. Sometimes they come in twice a month, depending on what their insurance status is, and can gain bottle privileges. So per day, I really wouldn't be able to tell you, but I think our census runs probably between 450 and 500.
Okay. It's a good amount.
Yeah.
For the hours. You guys open at 6 and you close at 2, right?
Yes, but we only dispense until 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, 6 to 10.
Is there a reason
Friday.
why they do like at a certain time, or?
I have no idea. It's always done that way since I've been here. I think maybe other clinics may have different hours depending on the populace that they're dealing with. So.
And I know every patient's unique, but what's the dosage for methadone? I mean, is it just once a day? I'm not familiar.
It's once a day.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a long-acting medication. So they come in and even if they get bottles, they'll have their bottle, that they take home, and they take it once a day. They used to have split doses here, but I don't think they do that anymore.
They improve the medicine, maybe just that way they don't want to have to do the split dose thing, maybe.
Yeah, they want to keep everybody on single dose, and I really couldn't tell you the rationale behind the whole
easier to
split,
keep track.
stopping the split dose thing, because some people, I guess, everybody metabolizes differently,
Gotcha.
and as far as average dose, I mean, it's all different.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
quite a wide range, because everybody's different. Their needs are different.
Do you believe the methadone clinic helps the population with addiction overall? Do you see a large number of relapses?
Addiction is a disease of relapse, so, that's pretty individualized, in my opinion anyway, it's individualized too. There are people who can work the program and get out of here and stay clean. And then there are some patients, I've been here 7 years, and I've seen them detox out and do well, but relapse and have to come back, so.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah.
And
It's all
becomes
individualized.
hard.
I think overall though, I mean, if you look at public health overall and the problem with heroin addiction or opiate addiction, I think that this is a good program. Methadone is a good program, as controversial as it may be throughout the country. Each state runs it differently. But in my opinion, yeah, it's a good thing. It at least gives them something to turn to.
Exactly.
You know?
Once they're right.
And they can function and have families and have jobs and things like that. If you're running around trying to chase your next fix all the time, that's the number one thing in your head, So I believe in the program.
Awesome. What kind of background do you have to have as a clinician in a methadone treatment center?
For the counselors, I really am not sure. I would imagine, I'm taking a guess, I think it would probably be at least a bachelor's of some sort. And then we do have clinicians here that I know are masters prepared in social work. And we also have someone, I think, who has a doctorate in here. But, I think overall, you have to have that college bachelor's, I believe.
Because usually providing like evidence-based practices and all
They
that.
can, yeah, and I know that they can get different certifications, and things like that, just like nursing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we can get our RN, but then we can go get
CNOR,
certified in cardiology
Oh,
or
absolutely. Become,
special,
almost, pretty much specialized.
right, yeah, specialized things. So, but I'm just guessing. Like I said,
No,
don't quote me on that one because
No,
I'm really
you're
not
good,
sure.
You're good. You're good. What do you like about the work you do here?
I like working, I work in this clinic with a great group of people. Everybody here gets along really well. And that's one thing. I'm very close to home, which is another thing, but I really like working with the population. I have a master's in public health, and I think this is a really good public health venue. I'm interested in how the program works, how it helps people, and this is my community. I don't live very far away. I see my patients out at Walmart,
Okay,
at the
wow.
post office, everywhere. I see them
That's
everywhere.
huge.
Yeah, so, it's I feel very comfortable here, and I feel like I'm doing something to help my community.
Awesome. What are some improvements you think would help better serve the population? Like, what could be improved overall, you think, here? Is there anything, you think? Or would you like to see something in place?
That's a really good question. I think at this point in time, methadone clinics are really a good alternative for the addicted patient. I don't think that there's a lot of other alternatives out there for people. I would really have to sit and think how it could be improved at this point in time, because there's so many limitations with insurance, there's so many limitations, with the legislature and stuff like that. It's a very political thing,
Like you said, it's a controversial thing, so maybe not
very
all
controversial.
towns or counties are offer that or
Right,
against
like in
it.
Florida, for instance, they have a lot of methadone clinics there, but they're cash only. I mean, you
Oh,
come
no
in, you
kidding.
got the cash, okay, you can get the methadone,
no kidding.
pretty much, basically. Here it's a little bit different, we work with insurances, and there's transportation that can be provided to people so they can get here. So Connecticut's a little bit different, than Florida, for instance, and geez, I couldn't even tell you what would be going on in California or any of the other 48
It's all pretty much
states.
state by state or town by town, I guess, and not what they decide. So. Now, in general, do you think there's like a mixture of people from all walks of life? I mean, you have, you possibly have like a homeless person maybe become addicted, or you could have a person that's a lawyer addicted. Do you have a mix of everybody?
It's a very wide range. Addiction does not discriminate. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can be male, female, black, white, yellow. It doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter. Rich, poor, homeless, with a home, living in an apartment, living in your car. It doesn't matter. We have all kinds of people that we see in this community.
Does the clinic serve romantic residents only, or other towns as well?
Other towns as well. I think with the Hartford dispensary, it has to do a lot with which clinic there is, because we have clinics all over the place. So we have clinic like we have in Norwich, and there's Bristol, New London, just to name a few. I think that you have to provide like some sort of address where you are. If you're homeless, then of course you're not going to be very far.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're living in this area, I think you have to provide them with something that confirms your address. And if there's transportation involved, like if you go through Logisticare or something, then if you live too far, Logisticare won't bring you here, but they might bring you to Norwich if you're closer to Norwich or something like that. But there are other towns. We have people that come from Putnam, Danielson. We have people that come from Plainfield. We have people that come from Sterling. All
So there's not necessarily a roster kind of deal of like certain patients you see on a daily.
Right.
Do you like what you do? I'm sure you
I
answered
love
that
it.
already.
I'm on the downside of my career, so this is good for me. I worked in a hospital. I was a surgical nurse. So, I was a school nurse. I was nursing director in places. I've worked in clinics. I worked in cardiology. I've done a lot of different things in my
That's
career.
the beauty of nursing.
You can do a lot of different things, sure. So I have a lot of, diverse experience in nursing, but this is a great way to, and I do have a master's in public health.
Yeah.
So even though I left school nursing, which is really the main reason why I went to get my master's in science and master's in public health, this is a great venue for me to work. So I feel like I'm really using my education, and it's a pretty laid back atmosphere here. So it's cool.
All right, last question.
Okay.
Okay, what are some parting words of wisdom for new RNs entering the health field, in particular community service?
Oh, you had to ask me that one, didn't you? Words of wisdom. Let's see. I think community health is a really interesting field because you're really doing something with your community. Like you want to probably think globally, but act locally. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and there's a lot of self-satisfaction. You see, even if you're, let's say, out of a clinic atmosphere like this, but going into, say, visiting nurses, which is, very popular today. You get to know your patients, you really get to know people, and they have they're so thankful for what you do for them, So,
that you make in their lives, and then, the teachings you're able to give them,
right.
and they're able to reciprocate it back to you. It's unbelievable.
It is. You really get a lot of satisfaction out of that. I think that, I know when I first became a nurse, I thought I was going to save the world, and to get into community health, you really kind of feel like you're doing that, except on a smaller scale. You're not out there saving the whole world, but you might be saving a piece of it.
Yeah, a piece of it, and that that'll spread too.
That's right.
That information, that knowledge.
That's right. And throughout anyone's nursing career, you're constantly going to learn. Medicine is an ever-changing field. As we speak, there's something being discovered, something going on out there. So always keep an open mind that, you haven't learned it all. You're always going to, you're always going to gain more knowledge.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Guys, that's my interview. This is Julie. I thank her very much. She did this on very short notice. And I appreciate it. Thank you all, and thanks to Julie.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No
That was awesome.
problem. Good luck to you.